Hey, what's up, y'all? It is your boy, Coach Cam, Killer Cam, whichever podcast you watch is whichever name you know me by. And today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the Hollyland Mars 400 Pro 2. And so, I had been eyeing this for a while. I ended up getting it because one of the communities I follow, David Shan's community, he talked about how Omar from Think Media had come out to his studio and kind of put him on game as far as using these to help with just like making the studio multifunction. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of chords when it comes to recording things, and sometimes being able to move things around can make life a lot easier. So, with that being said, I'm going to unbox this. I have been saving this for like a week and a half. I was even telling Percy, like, man, I need to get this thing unboxed because I need to use it. But I was like, this isn't going to work. We're going to throw that on the floor because this is our studio and I'll pick it up later. But that being said, this is not sponsored, FYI. Hollyland, if you'd like to sponsor us or send us some gear to review in the studio, by all means, let us know. That's the whole thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, popped open. Cool little, y'all know what that is. It's the instructions and shit. Hey, and so that being said, the box it's going to come with the transmitter as well as the receiver, okay? And now it is also going to come with a plug that you can plug into the wall for power, okay? As well as comes with, I think, 5 antennas. So yeah, 5 antennas, so it gives you a little extra one just in case something happens. And so we're going to put that there. I don't really need the plug right now. And just so you guys know, this is what we've been shooting with a lot in the studio because it just makes life a lot easier because we have multiple rooms, and taking cords from one room to the other can like not be fun. And so anyways, we've been using these a lot. But, you know, I will be honest, they do come with their quirks. They do come with some things to keep in mind. And so, with that being said, this is what it's going to look like once you get them all set up. So, you kind of have a few different options for powering these. So, you can either use a monitor battery, the same monitor battery that we all use, honestly. You can use a USB-C, or you can use the DC power. I use the DC power for the cameras, and I use a V mount with it. But for the transmitter, but for the receiver, I have it all near the desk. And what I do is I have USB-Cs that are powering those ones. And so both of those can get powered the exact same. You use an HDMI cable to connect it to your camera. So for those of you who have, so like for us in the studio, we run Sony ZV-10s. We have to use a adapter to run to HDMI. So, you know, we have a small rig, micro HDMI adapter to HDMI, and then we run the cord straight to here with like a little 2-foot cord just to give us a little wiggle room. And then we actually run things to a Rodecaster video, and that's how we run things here in the studio. So some tips and tricks. We've been using these for, I think, roughly 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks now in the studio. They have been great. They have not come without their hurdles, obviously. So one of the hurdles that we've noticed, so we run roughly 4 of these in somewhat of a small space continuously together. And I know that that's not necessarily recommended by Hollyland, so it's not really their fault per se, because it can be the signals can get weird, right? So we have all of our, I've got this knife sitting here on the table, but it can get a little weird with the signals as far as it's concerned. And so we've been doing our best to kind of combat that issue. I always tell people, always have backups for anything, whether it's your data, whether it's the cables that you need to connect your cameras straight to whatever system you're using, because anything that's battery operated or relies on a wireless signal, something can always go wrong. So it's better just to solve that problem by having backups just in case. So other than that, you know, we've had pixelation on a few of the feeds once or twice, but it hasn't been overly burdensome. The other thing is that, technically these are supposed to be used to like view the feed. However, as most of us know, whenever you're live streaming or you're recording content to a switcher, there's most switchers cannot run 4K switching. It's all 1080p. So these work very well in that aspect because these do run 1080p, 60 frames per second max, and that helps a lot as far as, like I said, making things mobile. I do wish that you could change the frame rates and maybe it would help some of the performance. Not sure. I did try to connect to them today via the Hollyland app and I was not able to. I don't know if that's something on my side or their side. I'm going to play with it a little bit more today, but as it stands, I haven't been able to do it. So just an FYI. And I have also not tried yet to connect the because I couldn't get the app to work, right? Is you're supposed to be able to monitor 4 feeds at one time, but I couldn't get it to work. So I guess I'll try it again. But these things are tough too, man. Like, I mean, you could throw this at somebody and it would cause some damage. So as far as the build quality, they're really dope as far as how well they are built. And I personally and the studio have been very happy with adding these as an addition because we run a lot of content and having these available to us has been a game changer for sure. So with that being said, the Hollyland Mars 400 Pro 2s, you can check the link in my bio if you want to check them out. And then at the end of the day, keep creating and we'll see you guys later. Peace.